Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skysworld.com for life coaching and mentoring. Let's talk about the duality of life, or the non-duality, as some people believe. See where you fall on this topic. This is popular amongst Buddhists, Taoists, Eastern philosophy. Let's just get into it a little bit, see where this goes. Do you think that there's a difference between your mind and your body? Are you a ghost in the shell? Anybody ever watch that movie, the Japanese anime movie? It came out probably 30 years ago. Are you a consciousness, an energy, a spirit, living inside a box that you call your head or your body? Is your body just a vehicle? And we kind of have this fantasy that when we die, this energy that we call ourselves, our mind, our persona, it's who we are, it lives inside of our body, and then that goes somewhere else. The body dies and our consciousness goes somewhere else. Implying that there's a duality, that there's a separation, that there's me, and then there's this thing I call my body. But you are your body, because you die without it. You got to think about, are you thinking your thoughts intentionally, or are they just happening on their own? In fact, it's almost impossible. Buddhists try this with their meditation practice, and it's quite hard. It's almost impossible to stop thinking. The practice of meditation, where you try to release all thoughts, is in itself a thought process. The action of non-thinking is still thinking, because you're thinking about non-thinking. You're trying to not think, so you're still trying to do something. It's just a weird conundrum. Are you thinking, or is it just happening to you? Let's go to something else. Maybe that's too confusing. Are you breathing, or are you being breathed? You breathe all day long, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, even when you sleep. Isn't it weird how you can remember to breathe when you sleep? See, what we're talking about here is voluntary versus involuntary experience. You know, you wouldn't know who you are. You wouldn't know yourself. You wouldn't be able to define yourself unless you could define other. And this is where we get into some serious duality stuff. There's you, and then there's other. This is how we define ourselves. I know who I am because I'm not you. I'm me. I'm over here, you're over there. But when you get into science, it kind of breaks it all down, because you think you're a solid object, but you're really just a bunch of atoms that are pretty far apart. Atoms are so far apart. The distance between atoms is like the distance between New York and Paris. I mean, you're mostly space in between what you think is solid. You're a bunch of atoms vibrating, and you think that's solid. You're more air, you're more space than you are solid. And so is the guy across the room. When you start thinking about this, you do this kind of thought experiment. You start thinking about what is real, what isn't. You realize that outside and inside go together. That outside defines inside. They're the yin and the yang. The peel of an orange, the outside of an orange, only exists as the outside, as a ball, because of what's outside it. This gets real theoretical. So if outside and inside go together, if we're mostly space, then we're not as separate as we think we are. If you think you're separated from your body, and then your body dies, but your mind also dies. We can't prove that the mind goes anywhere after death. See, you are a symptom of the earth. The way that an apple is a symptom of the branch and of the tree that it's growing on. Is the apple separate from the tree? You can hold an apple and say, this is an apple tree. Because if you plant it in the ground, it's got seeds, it'll grow another tree. You pull it from a tree. So is your mind separate than your body? Are you a ghost in the shell? Are you just a consciousness inside of a box? And you got to ask yourself, are you a creature living on Earth? You think you're an alien, as if you're not supposed to be here. Are you living on Earth? If you take yourself off Earth, you die. You are Earth, like the apple is the tree. Are you separate from that man across the room? When you guys share the exact same space between your atoms. It's all food for thought.